welcome to another edition of Stefan Reads Line News. I am your host, Stefan, and I'm going to read Line News. Line is, of course, the biggest messaging app in Japan, and it has its own little news aggregator thing that I read every single day on this here YouTube channel segment. Since this is, of course, a YouTube video, like, subscribe, comment, all of that jazz, whatever you typically do. It helps the numbers, and it helps justify me doing this every single day. That was a weird way of putting it. Yeah, I kind of take that back. Alright, you can also find us on Twitter at small_in_Japan, or you can find us on Patreon, still under construction, at patreon.com/smallinjapan. Anyways, today is September 22nd, 2022. Lots of 2s in there, and a 9. And if this is your first time listening, Line News has 2 rows of random fluff stories with big old pictures and headlines underneath them. And then sandwiched in between those 2 rows of nonsense are 3 actual news headlines that are literally just headlines that get buried under everything that no one actually reads. Because that's how news works in the modern day. But first, we go through all the fluff. Let's get to it. Story number 1. Well, this first story is... well, in true Line News fashion, it's literally just someone talking about a sexy Instagram post, which is, of course, the most common news story on Line News. Yes, Koda Kumi, who her prime was like 10 years ago. It was like right about when I came to Japan, was like the peak of Koda Kumi's fame. I think it's like right after she broke up with Nakai Masahiro from SMAP, and she was on Kohaku Utagassen like every single year with their weird sexy dances or whatever. Anyways, Koda Kumi posted a slightly risque Instagram post, by which I mean she slightly revealed her thigh. She her dress kind of had like a little slit in it, so you could see her thigh, which is of course enough to get featured on Line News. Of course, in Line News fashion, there's a whole paragraph about how her fans feel about it, mostly just the comments pulled straight from Instagram, where people said something like, "Subete wa saiko, everything's great. Ante no style. It's like the perfect style for you, kinda. Kakkoi, oh, you're cool." Yeah, that sort of comment. So, very enlightening. Good start, Line News. Let's move on to story number 2, another Instagram story. So, Ugaki Misato's manager account, this is like a thing in like the Japanese showbiz, a lot of, to eliminate fan interaction, a lot of actresses in particular don't actually have their own social media, quote unquote. It's their managers. It's like you'll have like Matsuoka Mayu manager official. And like so like it'll just be like her manager posting stuff about her, like her appearances and everything. And then occasionally they'll have their own quote unquote private account that's like run by the actual person, but it's like their way of like promoting their actor or the actress or the talent, while kind of having their cake and eating it too. So anyways, Ugaki Misato's manager posted a picture of her on a tropical island while shooting her second photo essay. Ugaki Misato is a former free announcer who's also like an actress, I guess. She's like C list, so that's interesting seeing her leading Line News. Normally, even by Line News standards, Zhao is like either some has-been A-lister or like an A-lister B+ lister. So it's kind of weird seeing Ugaki Misato here. But anyways, yeah, she was on an island shooting her second photo essay book, and her fans, of course, went crazy. There's a whole another paragraph here about what her fans are saying. Typical, "Oh, that hat looks good on you. Wow, great comment, guys. Really, step it up, Japanese commenters. You gotta really... I know you're super thirsty. Japanese like fans of people are like the thirstiest fans like of all. So just be a little better, Japanese. Just if you're gonna try to shoot your shot, really shoot your shot. You know what I'm saying?" So that's that first row of fluff stories. Let's look at story number 3. Fluff, but it's not an Instagram story. It's a YouTube story. By YouTube story, I mean it's an article about Shimizu Ryo, who is the newest member of Hinata 46's fourth generation. Um, I guess she's apparently the first person introduced. She's a 17-year-old from Chiba Prefecture. She was born in 2005, which, oh my god, I feel old. So yeah, this is literally just them saying, oh yeah, Hinata 46 posted a introduction video on YouTube of their newest member. And pretty much it pretty much just writes down what's in the video, so I'm not sure why you would watch the video. Let me put it this way. If you're going to click on this article, you've probably already watched the video anyways. So if you're going to make an article about this, actually, like, make an article about it. That's all I'm saying. I don't know why. I guess I'm being super bitchy about, like, Line News today for some reason. Well, anyways, story number 4. Story number 4 is, it's an interview, actually, so progress, but it's an interview with Kuro-chan. Yes, the bald, high-pitched, squealy guy who everyone loves to hate. And it's an interview with Kuro-chan about why he continues to play the villain. They talk about how in one day he would get over 5,000 different anti-comments about, like, we hope you sleep forever, or whenever I look at your picture, I puke. Those sorts of comments. And it's a bit, yeah, so if you look at, they actually give us a ranking of the least liked or the most hated comedians or entertainers in Japan. Kuro-chan was number 1 this year. Number 2, by the way, despite him not really being on TV that much anymore, is Muramoto Daisuke from Woman Rush Hour, who, of course, if you're a long-time listener, you know me and Nick's particular connection with him. Yeah, he's Japan. This interview is about, like, why Kuro-chan continues to play the villain. It's because people keep casting him as that, and also he makes a ton of money doing this, so there's no incentive for him to stop playing the villain / no incentive for the TV industry people to shift his role or whatever. It's like wrestling, right? When you have a great heel, it's hard to make at a certain point. I mean, eventually you might want to turn him back to a baby face or a face or something. But for the most part, great heels kind of stay great heels. And that's kind of the same with the Japanese entertainers, right? They kind of, once they find that role and they really start hitting it off, there's not really much of an incentive. You want to keep the good times going, right? So you aren't really going to try to change things. And that's the same thing with Kuro-chan. That's also why, like, all these Gaikokujin tarento kind of get, you know, typecast in certain roles. So, like, Pakkun will always be, like, the intelligent commentator guy along with, like, Atsugiri Jason, even though they'll still have him, like, say, like, why Japanese people, for, like, no reason, because it's his catchphrase. It's that sort of thing. And so that's the reason why. Screw the interview. That's the reason why he's still playing the villain. Because it makes him a ton of money. That's why. All right, so those are all the fluff stories for today. Let's take a actual. Why am I stumbling over my words there? Let's take a look at the actual news that Line gives us today. There's 3 headlines. Headline number 1 is really, the exchange rate is continuing to make my heart hurt, and I really, like, make it stop, please, because today $1 is about 145 yen, which is ridiculous. It's crazy. That is crazy. Yesterday I said, like, I hope it doesn't get to 150 yen per dollar. Well, it looks like it's going to go there, because the Central Japanese Bank, or the Bank of Japan, is not going to do... It appears they aren't going to do anything to try to stop this. They don't want to raise interest rates, because that would make they'd raise national debt again. So they aren't really going to try to match what the American Federal Bank is doing. And as a result, the American dollar is going to keep going stronger against the yen. And so apparently in 1990, $1 was 147 yen, which is crazy to think about. They're thinking that it's going to get back to that rate again as well, which is crazy to think about. $1 is 150 yen. That is crazy. And the wages aren't rising here to really match that. So it's just like It's not a good situation. What I'd say is if you want to work in Japan, figure out a way to work in a job that'll get you paid in American dollars. That's all I'm gonna. I don't know if that. I'm not sure how you can really manage that. I'm no expert in like what kind of job would make that possible. I'm probably working for like for an American corporation or something. But yeah, it's not a great situation. Like if you want to teach English in Japan, that's cool. Just make sure you're not buying stuff from America, right? If you're gonna get paid in Japanese yen, try to stay in the Japanese yen ecosystem. Even if like Apple products, we were talking about this in the probably should have mentioned this at the start of the show. In the Small Japan Discord, we were talking about how Apple products here are like 2 times more expensive than Apple products in America, and that's even factoring in the exchange rate. It's not good. It's not good, guys. Story number 2. Well, and it's kind of similar. It kind of plays into story number 1, I should say. Prime Minister Kishida claims that someone honked their horn outside. I don't know if you could hear that. Prime Minister Kishida claimed that he's going to lift even more COVID travel restrictions in October. It's been a long time coming. So of course from this month they're lowering the testing requirements to get into the country, and they're also trying to make it so you no longer have to be part of a group to get into the country as a tourist. Jesus, what is going on out there? Why are you honking your horn? It's Japan, not New York. Where was I? So he was doing a PR event for Japanese food. When he was talking about this. So if you're looking to travel to Japan, probably going to be the good times might be coming in a couple months. With that exchange rate, first of all, you're going to be getting a lot of bang for your buck. And second of all, I'm pretty sure there are going to be some subsidies involved for hotels for cheaper hotel rates and everything. So, Jesus freaking Christ, guys, come on! I'm recording here. Anyways, let's move on to story number 3. Story number 3. Okay, this is it's a rare story for Japan. A Kobe cop shot a crazy guy in a convenience store 3 times. So apparently there was a call in to the Japanese equivalent of 911, which is 110, so yeah, 110. What's going on out there? Jesus, is there like a war going on outside or something? Did I sleep through the start of World War III? Anyways, there's a call to 110 at 1:45 in the morning, as this is normally ought to be, from a convenience store in Kobe, where they said a customer was drunk and angry that it was taking so long for this company to react, or for someone to pay to deal with the cash register. And as a result, they called the cops. The cops came and they shot the crazy guy 3 times. He's not dead. He went to the hospital. They say that he has severe injuries, but there's no danger to his life at this point. They shot him in the gut 3 times, so that's not exactly gonna. I don't think he's gonna be able to take a normal poop for a while. But this is really in Japan. Most cops don't wear guns, so I'm not sure why this. Well, it's Kobe, so there's quite a bit of a gang presence. Maybe not as much as there used to be, but there's quite a bit of a yakuza presence in a port city like that. So maybe that's why. But it's pretty rare in Tokyo. You never really see cops with guns. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. Yeah, kind of. I don't know why they chose now to start like building a building next door with cars honking the entire time, but apparently that was happening. But normally things aren't that disheveled. So until next time, I'm Stefan. Take care, stay safe. I'll hope don't build buildings while I'm recording an episode.